what are the problems with software patents? As in, if you're fine with patents, what's so different about software apart from misspellings? Well, one philosophy in the nature of software, algorithms, okay, and mathematical formulae and business methods and all these things, okay, normally cannot be patented. Okay, these are just ideas. They don't really have fixed form. Okay, these are so. If you actually just think about it, if you allow for patenting of ideas and not just functionality, okay, then anything based on, for instance, satellites, okay, and GPS actually use ideas from the theory of relativity. Okay, you wouldn't have things like GPS. Okay, so algorithms generally are not patentable, and as in software engineering, I tell you, software is just algorithm written in a different language. So there are legal reasons which I'm not really going into right now. Basically, an amendment which tried to make certain parts of software, certain kinds of software patentable was rejected in Parliament. So apart from that, there are practical reasons. These are what I'm going to try to focus on a little bit. And then there are things like patent mines, submarine patents, patent gridlocks, and lastly, independent creation. So I think the first two are self-explanatory. Independent creation patents don't actually allow for something called independent creation, which copyright does. That is, if somewhere, say in Greenwich Village, okay, comes out with some brilliant code, okay, and gets that patented in the US, and you sitting in, say, Japan, where software maintenance labs, create the same thing, independent of that person, okay, your patent won't really, if it comes under the global patent system through PCT system, etc., you not having known about that person's patent or about that person's work won't really make a difference. Okay, it's just about who gets there first. Okay, it's not about preventing people from copying, preventing people from, you know, in a sense, stealing someone else's ideas. So I don't really know how stealing can happen to ideas. But it's not about those kinds of things. It's about who gets there first. In terms of patents, 20 years. Okay, the average turnaround of ideas in the software industry is like anywhere between, say, 3 months to 5 years, and not more than that. So to actually give someone a monopoly over something that was created in in 1990, okay, and it still can't be used by other people, it's just ridiculous. The history of software and the fact that software is covered by copyright. Software has not needed patents. Patents are supposed to act as incentives. You can see these guys, okay, Mozilla for instance, they're producing free and open source software. Okay, the kinds of incentives that the software world has are completely different from the kinds of incentives that the patent system was meant to kind of provide. Wikipedia, you don't have patents for that. They don't really give the same kinds of incentives. So for this new kind of emerging world and emerging technologies, you can't rely on the same set of rules. Insufficient disclosure. I'm a lawyer. I have difficulty reading what other lawyers write when they write out patent applications. I can't really understand what, and I consider myself a little bit of a techie as well, but I can't really understand what kind of technology they're precisely describing in their patent application. Okay, so one of the incentives that patents are supposed to provide is, okay, fine, you get a monopoly, but you have to tell the rest of the world how you did this. There's no magic in this world. Okay, you have to tell them precisely how you build that machine, how you build that software, so that they can learn, that they can do even better things with it. Okay, now if I don't understand what this guy has created, I can just see how it works, but I don't understand the underlying stuff behind that. Okay, it doesn't really serve one of the incentives behind the patent system, which is the incentive to disclose, to enrich the knowledge of the rest of the world.